period. We're live on YouTube. So let me read this shit. So it says, until you can carry the culture on your back for years without being dethroned, then we can have a conversation. If the culture keeps moving without you, you ain't made no impact. You're just a passenger on the school bus. Remain seated until your stop comes to get off. Okay, I'm not even about to. Bitches just be talking just to talk at this point. Oh, for real. Like, seriously. Like, seriously, guys. Like, seriously. Like, as I'm gonna keep saying this, like, just following more, like, politics and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, like what Elon Musk is doing, like it's like they're saying like we're moving towards an oligarchy and stuff like that, and Elon Musk is really trying to control the world. Like people really think that like he's really trying, like he thinks that he can really like run the world. Like seriously, it's like a mental disorder. I just finished watching a video earlier about like Trump's declining mental state and shit like that. But anyway, I'm saying that to say that this little fucking world that we have on Twitter is literally just that. And it's just so important to like leave it sometimes, and just like get out of there. You know what? That's what I wanted to talk about. You see, that's what I wanted to talk about before we went live on YouTube. I wanted to talk about just like I was having a conversation not yesterday, like the day before yesterday, about just about like I guess Nikki from because yeah, this week it was really the Grammys and shit like that. So, everybody was talking about this or about it, sorry. And then and so, I'm just talking with other people like, about Nikki and other people and stuff like that. And I really didn't even want to keep the convo on Nikki, but it is what it was or whatever. Got news today that my abuser has passed as a strange process. Oh, that's nice. Um, yeah, my point is that like okay, so in the sort of like debate that happens every year, like with Nikki, not getting her Grammy and shit like that. This what it was. Um and when you walk into that conversation these days, and first of all, we every year we say, oh, we don't want to talk about it no more. We don't want to talk about it no more, X, Y, and Z. And it is what it is. And I actually just saw like a tweet that I will hope I run into again so that I can pull it up because it said like something like, Nikki will always be discussed when it comes to the Grammys for real, like literally every year. And I agree with that, seriously. But anyway, so I'm listening to people have this conversation on spaces like it was barbs and non-barbs and stuff like that. And so like, they were talking about like, why Nicki doesn't have a Grammy and stuff. And so I feel like when I was listening to that, I was feeling like we know the story and stuff and why it is what it is. And then I was listening to like people who are not barbs and they were basically saying like, oh, sometimes Nikki comes off as a brat, like she's just complaining about shit and stuff like that. But they weren't making it in the like most basic. That sounds like a basic argument. But what they're saying is that like they're saying that if you choose to like go against the system or whatever, like you can't then complain or whatever. And so I think the difference is, and so it's interesting, right? How we saw the Grammys make up with the Weekend, right? They made up with the Weekend and they put him to perform and shit like that. And that's another thing that gotta be looked into, especially when it comes to like the whole politics, the whole political structure environment of the industry that y'all all saw, when Not Like Us was winning and shit like that, and everybody was saying A minor and shit. And so it's real interesting how like all of that is happening, and then all of a sudden the Grammys makes up with the Weekend, and we know the Weekend and Drake is enemies and shit like that. So it's just really a lot. It's just a lot of interesting shit going on for real. And it's just like so many questions need to be asked, so many conversations need to be had, and child, it's just a lot. It's just really a lot. So, anyway, one day I keep getting off that path, but like when stick on the path and talk about like what these other people were saying like about Nicki and the Grammys. So they were saying like, okay, so her choosing to perform after they asked her to not perform, right? And other people were categorizing it as she was making a mockery of the Catholic Church. And so I do feel like there's other dynamics that go into play, because especially like I just said, we saw the Weekend and the Grammys makeup, right? And then we also saw, why the fuck did I just forget the other oh, they gave a Grammy to Chris Brown, right, for best R&B album. And so you'll think about like these other people like a Chris Brown who was like sort of blackballed in the industry, but now he getting his flowers and shit like that. And so when I was listening to that conversation, I was just thinking this. I didn't say it to nobody, but I was thinking like, oh, like it kind of makes sense because it's like Nicki went against them in a different way, where it's like it wasn't like no basic shit. It was like, going against the corporate structure and all of the political things that go into that, but also intertwining religion into that. And honestly, like, she could have still made that decision. It's not a bad thing, like to go ahead and do the performance and stuff like that. But I think that that's different. That issue is different than all of the other people who haven't gotten Grammys or whatever you want to call it and stuff like that. Um, and but it's okay, like if she wanted to stand on that decision. But sometimes you also got to deal with the consequences that come with that. Now, I think before I got on that, I was saying that we got to remember that when we have these conversations on the Grammys and shit like that, and that's not even what I was trying to get into tonight. That was just, stuff that I was listening to over the week. But we got to remember that when we have these conversations specifically regarding Nicki and the Grammys, Nicki doesn't, because I had to remember this myself. Like Nicki's not, she doesn't talk about the Grammys like, oh, she needs one, right? So it's like we're advocating for her as an artist, but um, I don't want to make it seem like she's dying for one. If you get what I'm where I'm going with that. Anyway, so yeah, let me know if you guys have anything that you um want to get into. Oh, before I got on YouTube, I was supposed to go and watch Glorilla's new music video with Lotto for Procedure. I still didn't watch that yet. Um okay. Now, so this week, once again on the channel, we've been focusing on heavy on it, shit like that. And so the artist, Nicki's artists, have dropped some music. Now, did we talk about this? I think we did talk about this.
Hey, mama, you fine? I'm trying to hit that on her. That shit ain't over. I want to get back for my. Don't tell me be safe. You should have told that to your nigga. Play around. I'ma send him to his. Bitch.
Anyway, let me stop, in case they copyright the shit. But yeah, I hate this. Oh, damn, that was like so easy for me to say. But yeah, I really don't like this. Like I don't like this at all. Yeah, everything that Lourdes sings to me is really I mean, woo! I can't control my mouth. Oh my god. I was yo, I was about to say, even though I just wanted to say everything that Lourdes sings to me is repetitive, okay? That's what I meant to say. Now, I'm really fucking crying. Okay, so then Lourdes also released her own song today because that was a feature with Tate and Lourdes. Now, if you looked at the credits on any of the DSPs, it definitely said heavy on it. But I just have a feeling that it became a Tate featuring Lourdes song to say heavy on it because Lourdes releases um a new song today called Pray. Okay, and I listened to it, and uh it's not the worst thing in the world, but I don't care for it. So here's a little bit of it. No, that's not that. Why would you be? Why would you? Okay. Um. Great. So let's go to Spotify. It's still saying Lourdes Music. And if we go over to YouTube, let's pull it up on YouTube. Here it is. Okay. So it says provided to YouTube. Provided to YouTube by Amigo Records, okay? Which is what her music been saying, okay? Lourdes Music. So it's really interesting how, and look at all these credits, producer, Asher, that's fine. But it's just really interesting, like Amigo Records. Let's go search up Amigo Records. We did this before, but Amigo Records. For people who, really need to see every fucking thing. Um, what does it say? Amigo recordings? What the fuck? This does not look like that. I don't know if this is it. Company run by Lucas Gottwald, aka Dr. Luke. Kim Petras. Ooh, her Feed the Beast is on this too. That was one of her latest albums. What is this hold that Dr. Luke has on the industry? Like, why can't we get rid of him yet? It seems like Kim Petras is fucking locked down. Like all of her shit. I really hope that. Why would it not be true? But it's like, let me look at Kim Petras real quick. Don't Lie, latest single. Secondhand Happiness under exclusive license to Disruptor Columbia. Oh wow. So they moved. Oh, okay. This is the Chainsmokers. I'm sorry. This is not Kim. Okay. This is her latest release, which is a feature. Woo! I almost got scared there. I almost thought Republic dropped her. That would have been woo. Okay, so Feed the Beast. Let's see. What does it say? Okay, see, Amigo Records under exclusive license to Republic Records. Okay. So this is definitely ran by Dr. Luke. And it's just like, what is it gonna take for Nikki to not be in business with Dr. Luke? Like, what is her plan? Is she going to buy Lourdes out of her contract? Is she going to wait until Lourdes' contract with him runs out? Because see, it's like the same thing that happened with the female rappers. Sh- um, trying to sign JT and Ice when they was already signed. And like clearly she's sort of already signed, but like I don't know. It seemed like they got her locked down in some shit where something happened and Dr. Luke is like, or they don't want to work together, but Dr. Luke is like, I'm not letting you out. Like, because then why would Nikki come in and say, I want to sign you and have her dropping music? Like, you see how this shit makes absolutely no sense? This shit makes absolutely no sense. I'm not even trying to do too much, but it just makes no sense. And anyway, my thing is like, yo, like like with all of these like shits that been going on with like like Katy Perry last album, she was getting mad. She was getting dragged, right? Every artist that worked with Dr. Luke,
One hand bitch.
sorry, everybody who worked with Dr. Luke these days gets dragged, right? Because it's like, bro, like, he's a known predator in the industry or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But it's like then after all of that, Nicki works with him on Super Freaky Girl. Then of course Katy Perry comes back and works with him again, and probably more artists have worked with him. I don't fucking know, but because he got two labels. That's the thing.
One hand bitch.
Cause Kesha, I mean no, Doja is on Kemosabe Records. Let's talk. It's Kemosabe Records. Kemosabe Records is an American record label founded by American record producer and songwriter Dr. Luke. The label is based in Los Angeles, California. So you see Lunch Money Lewis, who worked with Nicki on Trinity Them Girls. Doja, what is that? Planet Her. Available now from Kemosabe. So you can, a lot of labels do this and they make a playlist of their recent releases so you can stream them based on what they actually own. So you might see like Doja's older music on here, but you may not see her most recent album on here because by that time she could have negotiated out of her deal with Kemosabe with Dr. Luke. So you can see, I'll show you, go to album for the Hot Pink album, okay? It says Kemosabe RCA, right? Now let's go to her most recent album. Let's see what that says. Scarlet 2, Claude the Deluxe. Still saying Kemosabe, okay? So she's still under Dr. Luke's jurisdiction. Um, at some point. I don't think that she's really working with him like that, but it's like these niggas just find ways to be like, nah, you still signed to me, even if you only working with RCA. I got the original contract with you. Okay. Now we could do this nicely or we could go to court. And it seemed like she doing it nicely. So I just wonder how much are these artists gonna play with Dr. Luke until we're done with him. Like I don't know. Because like if Nikki really gets involved like in Dr. Luke's business, like it's one thing to just get a beat from the nigga. But you trying to take a whole artist, like I mean, and that's fine. I hope that you're like rescuing her out of some like situation or whatever. But it's like, that pattern, right? Like that pattern of like Nikki being affiliated with people who are like predators, you know? And it's just like where we at this point where we could help it, why don't we avoid that? And so I'm really hoping that this doesn't get to that point where, you know, more people start recognizing this. Because see, a lot of people only know Dr. Luke via Kemosabe. Not many people know this Amigo record shit because I never really saw it like that. Okay. Until I started looking at Kim Petras shit. See, Amigo Records. But you see, even on Lourdes shit, on Lourdes shit, it's not even saying Amigo. It's saying Lourdes, right? It says Lourdes on Spotify, but on YouTube, that's where it say Amigo Records. And I'm always going to go by, at the end of the day, I'm always going to go by what's being said on YouTube because you can't really manipulate the back end of YouTube like that. But you can do it on Spotify because you're going to be working through your distributor and you can do it in your distributor and that'll probably change it on all platforms. But YouTube kind of like automatically calculates this. Like nobody just typed this in here. Like this is This is some fields, when you're filling out a form online. What's your label? Amigo Records. What's the name of the song? Pray. Lourdes. Okay. Producer, put it in here. And so it automatically fills this whole section out, right? That's what, see, auto generated by YouTube. That's why I'm always gonna go by what YouTube is telling me, because especially if it's a problem, because YouTube is a platform for user generated content, meaning that I could put your song in any of my videos, but that's not lawful use of it because I didn't pay you for that. I didn't pay you to use your song. That's why YouTube copyrights it. Yo, you gotta pay. Did you pay this? Like you gotta take that shit out. Like you cannot upload, or do content with music on YouTube. That's why. So that's why I'm kind of always gonna see about what it's telling me on YouTube. And man, does it never say heavy on it? But you could manipulate any other platform. Okay. Are you guys like tired or whatever? Because if you are, I don't really want to keep people up for real, for real. Um, but yeah, did anybody listen to Lord's new song? Like I said, I did. I probably listened to it like 2 times or whatever, and I wasn't feeling it. It's not for me. But yeah. Okay. Any thoughts on what Kanye got going on? I ain't even going to like do too much on that because like, who cares, like, because it's like he got to be trying to but like I was interested in watching some of his interviews, and I might still do it, but like it's just he's disgusting, Kanye is disgusting. But before I get there, I wanted to look at this. I was looking at this, it came up right before I came live from the boardroom account on Instagram. They're talking about, they talk about like business or whatever, so especially entertainment or whatever. So it says Irv Gotti's highest charting Billboard hits: Always on Time, Ja Rule, Ashanti 2001, What's Love, Fat Joe, Ashanti 2002. Does it have the number? I'm Real, J Lo, Ja Rule 2001, Gangsta Love, Eve and Alicia Keys 2002. Okay, Foolish, Ashanti 2002. What is the position? I'm not seeing where the position is, because it's a Irv Gotti's highest charting Billboard hit. So usually it'll say at what position it charted at, but it's not saying that. So yeah. But rest in peace to Irv Gotti. I hope we learn a little bit more of like what really happened. Yeah, she got a new song. Yeah. She put out she dropped last night, like literally last night. Lourdes dropped last night. Okay. It's out now. It's called Pray. So yeah. Let me close this tab. I got mad tabs open. Um, okay, I did that. Did that. Now, are you guys gonna listen to Wayne's new project or whatever? Oh, and did you guys see Kendrick's interview yesterday? Yo, let me talk about this. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this and then I'm gonna talk about mainly, and then I think I'm gonna get off of here. So, one second. Kendrick. What the fuck? Oh, is it in my bookmarks? Because that song is stuck in my head now. Let's come to Twitter. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about Chloe. Yeah, let's talk about that first. Chloe and Burna Boy once again booed up. Just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. Embarrassing. Literally embarrassing. Like, this is so embarrassing because remember when we saw them together in Nigeria or whatever the fuck, they was together for a couple days or a week or whatever the fuck. And then he was seen out with another woman literally like the day after Chloe left or whatever the fuck. So I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Now we was thinking it was a rollout for some song or whatever, and I don't know if this is a long extended rollout or if she's trying to make this shit more believable. I don't know, but it just don't. It's not given, and everybody is saying like, oh, like she's more into him than he is into her, and obviously that is the case now. Man, if I had the chance, I would be on Burna Boy too. No shade, but like, yeah, like I don't know, man, like. I don't know. I guess like at a certain point you just gotta be okay with sharing men for real and love the fact that you just get portrayed as the main girl. Like I can't like I literally fucking can't. Like it's like, yo, oh my God. Like I don't know if it's believable anymore. You see why like I don't be knowing if it's believable because whoever like look at the way it's being recorded. Like it's deliberately being recorded. Like somebody in his close camp is recording them from mad angles. Like are y'all doing this to get on the blogs or what? Like just recording. And I'm just like what? This shit is weird. But I hope that if it is serious that like they are monogamous and he does treat her well and stuff like that because anything less is just like why are you doing all of this, because that'd be my thing. It's like okay, da 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 we could be doing whatever, but it's like if you're not about to like really like make this a priority or whatever, then it's like why am I about to be all over you in public? Like this is not it, especially when I got people watching me like that. Like it's embarrassing. Like that's the whole point is that men don't want to claim y'all or they're, or whatever, but y'all are falling all over them in public. Like it looks weird. It's just weird. Very weird. So anyway, let's move on. So y'all, okay. All right, so this didn't drop yet, but I have another video she using her because of her connection to Beyonce. She got to know that. I don't know. But okay, so I recorded 3 videos this week on the Grammys, but I only dropped 2 of them because I had to move whatever I'm about to drop tomorrow. I had to move it back because everything I had to push around because of Irv Gotti's passing, and then was recording videos on him and stuff like that. And so the video that I'm going to drop tomorrow gives an update on the TDE lawsuit as well as a couple more like the politics, all of the politics that was going on in the room at the Grammys, okay? And but now here is another update. So just real quick, in that update, in the previous update that happened at this point probably 2-3 days ago, was the lawyers was denying the claims, and then hey Shay, the lawyers were denying the claims, and then they wrote out the names of the girls who have filed the lawsuit on TDE. And it's just like, who does that? Like, what kind of lawyer, like, if people file a lawsuit remaining anonymous, like, what kind of lawyer just outs the people, the plaintiff who filed the suit? Like, that shit is just fucking crazy. So it says, TSR exclusive, women suing TDE for sexual misconduct. They filed an amended complaint for doxing, claim they have suffered emotional distress after TDE allegedly released their names to the public. So once again, here are the 2 people being accused. This one right here is Dochi's manager. So I'm gonna do a search real quick on my bookmarks because I know like when the lawyers like put their names out or whatever, please like people was like posting pictures of them and shit like that. So now why I can't find it now? Of course I can't find it when I'm live. But yeah, so that definitely did happen, and yeah, like that's weird. Oh, here it is. What's her name? Linda Luna. Well, this is one of the women right here accusing them in TDE. Here is her wiping the face of Dochi's manager right here. And so they put their names out. Of course, people found them and started, doing what they do. So it's like, how could you do that? So now those women are amending their complaint to add doxing. So they're saying we suffered emotional distress. We filed a lawsuit remaining anonymous. Your lawyers exposed our identities, and now we're suffering more emotional distress. So, child, hey, it's playing out. Like, I'm seeing it. So it's like I hope they get whatever it is that they asking for, because this is really just crazy. So that's the latest update that I've seen thus far. Okay, so since we on TDE, yeah. So did y'all see Kendrick's interview? That shit was boring. That shit was boring as fuck. So he spoke for the first time since the battle or whatever. So I'm gonna play this.
And you really did spread your wings. I mean, you just came off a huge Grammy wins. You walked away with 5 awards, and you won Not Like Us won for Song and Record of the Year, which in itself is remarkable. But I think for people who love and respect hip hop and the roots of this culture, the competitive spirit of it, it has been a little bit mind bending that you created this massive cultural award winning anthem out of a battle rap song. And how is that something after you got off that Grammy stage, you got home in some quiet time? What was going through your head?
I was just thinking about the culture, really. It's always that for me first. I'm not even bullshitting with you. It's like when people talk about rap, man, the conversations I hear, they think it's just rap and it's not an actual art form. So when you put records like that at the forefront, it reminds people that this is more than just something that came 50 years ago. They forget that it's even been here 50 years, right? And like kind of like belittle it. So I love to see that it gets that type of recognition for just straight raps, from awards to the billboards, all that, because this is truly just as big as an art form and a genre as any other genre. So that's what I think about, and I feel accomplished being able to do that. Whether somebody else come behind me and do it again and quadruple it, I love to see it. If that was my purpose to do that, then that's exactly what it was for that particular moment.
I think people often.
What the fuck? What the fuck did he just say? Yo, Kendrick is so like, like I watched this whole interview, and then he had another one that came out today with Timothy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. The whatever dude that Kylie dating, this actor or whatever. And it's just like, Kendrick sat down for the first time with Ebro and the Deska or whatever for Apple Music, because they are, the music partners for the halftime show for the Super Bowl. So, like they do when they press or whatever. So it's like, wow, like this is Kendrick's first time speaking since the battle. And I don't know, like what I expected, because it's like, it's not like a isolated interview. It's an interview that's really supposed to promote the Super Bowl. So it's not like we could have this serious conversation where you sort of like expect when an artist has dropped an album. You get it? Like we could have a little bit of a serious conversation, but we're really promoting your performance in the Super Bowl. And so, and it gave just that. Now, Nadeska and Ebro, I guess they asked good questions or whatever. They was looking very like, googly eyed, very starstruck or whatever. And it is a big moment, because it's like when, other than Harper's Bazaar, when was the last Kendrick interview where he really sat down with hip hop journalists? So this was like a big moment for them in their careers respectively and stuff like that. So like that's dope for them, for real. Like seriously. But I still personally feel like this interview was very surface level. I didn't learn anything new. Well, actually, yeah, I don't think I did, because what's it? And I'm already not a fan of Kendrick, so I don't know that much, but it's like I didn't learn anything new. Like I could learn so much from Kendrick because I'm not a fan. So it's like I don't follow his every shit. So anything he say could be something new for me. But I don't feel like that, because I don't really feel like he said much of anything. They asked him, like they basically asked him like, how does it feel to go from creating a battle rap song that became like a literal hit, like it's a literal hit, like it's the greatest diss song in history, for real, for real. And he goes to say, I did it for the culture. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I did it for the culture and I would love to see people do it on 4 times of a scale as me. Okay, great. Yeah, like, great. That's great. But it's like, what does that actually mean? Like, I feel like he said nothing, like, absolutely nothing.
That particular moment. Exactly. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly, man. As a writer, and that's what I can appreciate the most. And knowing how much time I dedicated over the years and just trial and error, writing the most terrible shit to some of the greatest shit. We all do it from writer's block to figuring out how to find inspiration from the most non-popular aspects around me. So it's like knowing that trial and knowing what I put in as far as my thinking process and what it takes to get there. I do not look at it as a small like endeavor because it's a hit record. No, it's actually some writing in that shit. Whether it connect with you on a spiritual level, whether it connect with you on a comedic level, whether it connect with you just on a personal dynamic, it's still from a writer's point of view.
Again, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Like, I don't understand. Hey, Valley, like, I don't understand what the fuck this nigga is talking about. Like, to me, he just says a whole bunch of nothing. Like, seriously, nothing, nothing, like nothing. Um, but okay, cool. Now, he did another interview today. Well, actually, let me go back to my notes because I have one more quote. Okay, no, it's this one. Kendrick Lamar finally speaks on the Drake beef publicly. Is it?
My intent was to always keep. I think from day one was to always keep the nature of it as a sport. I don't care how motherfuckers look at it as far as like uh, as a collaborative effort. That's cool too. But I love when artists grit their teeth. Like I still watch battle raps. I still watch Smack URL from Murder Mook to Lux to Tay Rock. My bro Daylight. This has always been the core definition of who I am, and it's been that way since day one. So I don't think it was a thing for this year. It was always just a continuum. And what will say about this year, it was more from a space where I think a lot of people was putting rap to the back, and you didn't see that. You didn't see that grit. You didn't see that bite anymore. So I always took that in consideration in going into any type of my music.
That's interesting. So I hope this makes sense, right? We've been following your journey for about 15 years, and you have been so consistent in the messaging and the focus, like you said, and you've always moved with integrity. So in a lot of ways, I feel like we thought we knew exactly who you were as an artist in a positive way. And then last year, it felt like you unlocked a whole new dimension for us. But that person, like you said, was always in there. But I'm wondering, do you still surprise yourself sometimes? Did you surprise yourself last year, or was it just us, the fans, with our jaws on the floor, just stunned?
That's a good question. Surprised myself? Nah, I don't think I surprised myself because this for me and for my partners that's been around me since 2005, 2006, like my brothers, they know my personality. They know my capabilities, even when it wasn't presented to the public at first, right? So this is just like a revolving door of what I've been doing in Carson Studios at the Homie Garage or my brothers at TDE or just anybody around the city of Compton in LA.
So I think that here is a good answer. And they gave him a good question because The whole thing about it is like Drake was antagonizing him with drop, 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 because like Drake never thought that he would actually drop. And so I like this question, and I could fuck with this answer because we all wanted to know that. We all feel like we don't really know Kendrick, and we don't know if if he knew he could do what he did, or it just happened. So that's a good question, and I liked his answer because he said that it was always in him, whether or not he showed that to the public. And that's one of the things that I do like about Kendrick, is that he just stayed on his own, and or he stayed to himself, because he's not pressed to show you all of his skills at once. But you know if you like stay around and or keep coming back, like he gonna blow your mind out of the water. And I feel like that's how I move as well, you know so I really do respect that about him, because in the music industry they talk about like preparation meets opportunity. You don't get a lot of opportunities, but you get a lot of time to prepare. So he's been preparing for this opportunity, for this moment, you know to go against Drake and defeat the biggest or whatever. He probably was conspiring for most of his career, preparing for that moment. And whether we knew or not, whether he knew or not, but it seemed like he always had that plan. And yeah, like I fuck with that. I could fuck with that. But for the most part, I do feel like he don't be saying shit in his interviews, and this shit is boring as fuck. But yeah. Anyway, so like okay. And so speaking of what's his name, Ding Ding, Kendrick or whatever, so boring, lol. Yeah, so speaking of Kendrick, right? So we're gonna see him perform on Sunday. So yay. Um, good luck, break a leg. It's gonna be something. What was I gonna say? Fuck. I don't I don't know. Speaking of Drake, I don't know. Oh, let me go to this tweet before I move on. So I saw this tweet earlier today, and it says, being a Kendrick fan is so peaceful. He's completely unfazed by internet talk, just drops classic after classic, levels up, and lets the music speak for itself. Meanwhile, his haters are in shambles, watching him win every time. Must be exhausting, LMAO. So I was like, dang, like, I wish I could say this about my fave, So I said, I said, really wish I could say the same for my fave. Like, I really wish that being a barb was more peaceful, like that we didn't have to deal with a dual or that we didn't have to deal with a lot of the bullshit that we be having to deal with, both inside and outside of the fan base and shit like that. Because like is I think the most important thing, especially in times of a battle, is to let the music speak for itself. Anyway, now this idiot boy Drake, man, I saw a tweet earlier this week, like, oh, like y'all crazy. Like, I would never switch up on Drake. And I feel the same way. Like I feel the same way. I could give everybody their credit or whatever. So Drake over there in Australia doing this corny ass shit. Like, I don't even fucking know, bro. Like Drake, um, walking out with the bullet holes or whatever, like it's this nigga. I didn't even want to fucking talk about that, because that's whatever that is. Like, he's annoying for that. But then he comes outside looking like this. And I'm just like, bro, like Drake, why do you do these things? Why do you do these things? Why do you have to take selfies with the fucking duck face? Why do you do this to yourself? I just don't understand. Like, y'all gotta really help me understand. And it's not just with Drake, because now we over here seeing Kanye crash out. And I'm just like, And then, like, I'm not trying to do too much or whatever, but when Nikki be in her bag, she be in her bag or whatever. And so I saw Barb earlier today talking about talking about like people have always made this comparison between like Nikki and Kanye and shit like that. That's like a separate conversation. But I'm just like, it just like makes me wonder, all of these rappers who are so accomplished, like they just be going outside. Like why? Kanye over there can't stay stable. Drake over there like performing and fucking walking around with duck boots. Like and shorts. Like I just don't understand why. Why? Do they really is are they really like in their head where they don't understand like how they look on the outside, or like they just don't care, or they just think that they're in superstar mode so that everything that they do is excused, like they don't have to, like, like, oh, I'm Drake, I could dress, I could wear a wig, and I'm still Drake, like what is it, that makes y'all move so like corny? This shit is so corny, bro. It's corny. um So I don't know, man. Like this shit is really sad. Now Drake releasing next Friday, okay, or whatever the fuck Valentine's Day is with yeah, that's Friday with Party Next Door, whatever. So child, like yeah, I don't know, child. Like I don't know. I ain't looking forward to it, but I made a I came to a I had a thought this week, probably like yeah, last night. And I was like, you know what, Destiny? Like, I think it's time for you to open your mind. I think it's time for you to listen to like, what's really going on, like the music that's really coming out, even if you don't want to. So for example, like SZA just dropped the album, I ain't listen to that. This nigga just dropped the album, well, I maybe listen to a little bit of that, but it's like, like I be like, I listen to what I want that like that's new, but for the most part, like I don't really like, try hard. But it's like, you know what, I think I should try, because it's like, yo, like we're in a very like historic time in hip hop right now, and I should be grateful to really be alive to witness all of this. All of the biggest artists, well, however it is, whatever it is that they're doing is still history. And and other like big battles and shit like that. Like I may have been too young and stuff. So it's like, you know what? Like let me go listen to this Kendrick album. You know what? Maybe I should go listen to this is a project, not that I have to really, just so that I know, like I know like what it is that others are doing. And I've always been someone that's more in my corner when it comes to music, but and especially like it didn't help like getting on Barb Twitter where it's like, oh, like don't stream this in the first week and stuff like that, which I'm very much still like that, so I ain't saying that I'm giving you bitches first week, numbers, but I will make more of an effort to listen to people's shit, so yeah, I just wanted to say that. Now since we on Drake or whatever, this shit with DJ Khaled, man, this shit is so like I can't even, I'm not even like really mad at Drake for real for like commenting or whatever. Like, I don't, oh, Khaled said he got two Drake songs on his upcoming album, and Drake commented, must be Drake Bell, because that ain't me, like you ain't got my music, or you're not putting that shit out, whatever. And Khaled had a whole like trailer. Look, this shit. It says I have two Drake songs on my album coming 2024. Khaled is just so like he has no shame, like literally no shame. And I was actually watching so academics was saying like how the last about four songs that Khaled put out with Drake didn't want those songs out. And Khaled would beg Drake to let him put it out. And if you know this song To the Max or something like that, that came off a DJ Khaled album, is on DJ Khaled album, right? But no, Drake made Khaled agree that you can put it on your album. I don't want this shit out because you asked me like 50 fucking 5 times. But if you want it that bad, Let's see how bad you really want it. If you want this song out, you gonna have to give me 95% of the record in publishing. 95 or nothing. And Khaled agreed. So Drake owns 95% of that song. Khaled only owned 5, but it's on his album. So, academics was breaking that down to be like, yo, like Khaled really sucked Drake's dick over the years to really get Drake, because and Drake was giving everybody alley oops because that's what he does. That's what he wanted to do by being on all of these dudes' album, Future, Travis Scott, whoever, Thug, whoever the fuck, put name any rapper or whatever. And which is true, like Drake was giving out a lot of features and he did help a lot of careers and stuff like that. So I feel like all of that is true. That's why I really can't hate on nobody, because I feel like, Drake definitely did help these artists and stuff like that. He definitely did help the culture, and he might have some ways about him, but he did help a lot of people. And anyway, that's not even the point. The point is that, like, Khaled, you a dumb fuck. Like, you're really slow for here's the thing. When you and the Khaled is signed to um Epic Records, where Future is signed. And so it's really interesting how I don't understand how you like release a whole trailer to an album and you're making promises to fans that you having Drake features on your album, but you didn't do no paperwork yet and you didn't talk to Drake to clear the records. Like, that don't make no sense. So that's why it's like I do not feel bad at all for Drake talking about, oh bitch, who is you talking about? Like, can't be me. It got to be Drake Bell, because you ain't asked me to put out no song. You're not putting out none of my. Nope, it's over for that. So I think he had to delete the whole trailer. I feel like I was watching it, also some of it, and it was like over 7 minutes. Like, DJ Khaled is so fucking annoying. 7 minutes of an album trailer. Why do we need a 7-minute album trailer? You know how long that is? Nigga, you're not even a real fucking artist, okay? And you put out 7 minutes worth of content and you had to take it all back. Delete the shit because you didn't get permission from Drake. What kind of fucking foolishness is that? It ain't as simple as uploading a goddamn video. How much money they put into filming that 7 minutes, editing that 7 minutes? That's kind of crazy. But I don't feel bad for you, because why are you advertising that you got Drake records and you don't have Drake, like you don't have his permission? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Nobody fucking with Kanye going over the deep end. I'm crying. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that. But yeah. All right. Okay, let's do old Wayne, child. Wayne was announcing that he wasn't going to be at the Super Bowl, and I'm just like, okay. But then he did this commercial, which I thought was ugh. Oh wait, hold on. Back to that Drake shit. I got a good tweet that I should have showed you guys. So on this Drake and Khaled shit, somebody said, does that mean Drake is stopping the tracks, or all Khaled would need to do is clear it with UMG? So then Brian said, if Drake doesn't want to clear the records he recorded with or for Khaled, they're DOA, period. Wait, what that mean? DOA meaning dead on arrival? Durable. What the fuck? Dead on arrival? Why you use that in business terms? But okay. So it sounds like he's saying like that they're not like worth anything or whatever. Okay, sorry. UMG cannot clear them independent of Drake. He must provide consent. That's true for most artists. Like, you cannot clear anything Like literally, like the label has to approve, but the artist also has to approve. But like like he was literally tweeting like this week, talking to like telling independent artists like, oh, like y'all gotta stop paying these signed artists for the features, because they'll tell you like they could do a feature, but y'all gotta remember, with signed artists, the label owns the exclusive right to exploit or distribute or fuck, what's it called, like just like exploit or distribute their the artists like content, their music or whatever, meaning that they can control, the label can control, do we want that out, do we not want that out, are we getting paid from that, oh no we're not, that's your song, you want a feature, no, and so that's the point of clearing, right? Like that's the point why you don't want to just like take an artist's word, if they're, especially if they're signed, that they can do a feature. You need to talk to their label beforehand, because they'll tell you, yeah, I can do a feature, and you'll pay them for it. Then the label, then you'll try to put it out, and the label will be like, no, we're not clearing that. Like, oh, we don't care how much you paid, we're not clearing that. And so they're saying that UMG cannot clear the records independent of Drake. He must provide consent. So the label has to provide consent as well as the artist, so it's kind of like a 50-50 thing there. But yeah, I just wanted to give like a business perspective on that. Where was I going? Okay, so let me go on my own page, because um I posted this thing. What is this? Oh, this is Wayne's commercial, but I'm not even about to play it. Wayne stars in a new ad for the lotion brand Cetaphil, talking about we're all a little sensitive, man. And then at the end of this is when he gave the date for the Carter 6 or whatever, coming out on 6/6/25, so in June. And yeah, I think it's actually gonna come out. But then, he said he wasn't going to the Super Bowl because he had a special announcement. I don't know if this was it or whatever, but it's just like, all right, great, like great, but I don't know. I just feel like this commercial was just corny. I think it was corny. That's how I feel. And yeah, you end up paying the artist price and the label's facts. Yo, Smurder, where I know you from? Like, how you found me? Anyway, okay, Ming Lee. All right, let's go over there, and then we could like wrap this up or whatever. So the other night, like Ming Lee met Natalie Nunn and Lumel Plummer from the Zeus Network or whatever, and she was asking them to be on baddies and stuff like that. And Natalie was definitely giving her interest or whatever. So of course this starts going viral. The Barbs start posting this and shit, and I'm just like interested. So then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, like I don't know why they would put this out and or film this if like they didn't already like get permission for her to be on the show. Like why would they just film like her meeting up with them and asking to be on the show? Because Natalie was saying like,
Yeah, you trying to be on Daddy's One Wild? What's up? You be trying to, you be so what be going on? Respectfully, because I got a tag one day where you was going off on the internet. I be doing it. I be doing it like respectfully. Okay. Like I'm not feeling like I hands out fuck with you. I be seeing you doing your shit, like see you on your TV shit, like that ass course. Like I be on my haters sometimes, but respectfully, like I'm not gonna lie, I think a real bitch. So you feel like you should be on Baddies or Baddies Gone Wild? Which one? No, bitch, she on Baddies. She ready.
look, so what's the difference between baddies and baddies going wild? Then look at what Natalie's saying. Natalie's saying she ready. She ready.
Yeah, we leaving. We about to film Baddies Gone Wild in 2 days in Brazil. You ready to go? I want to go. I'm telling you, I know. Let me. They be tagging me with her all the time. Yeah, you trying to be on Baddies Gone Wild? What's up?
Lord. So yeah, that was the other night, and now they saying that um It's official. May has been casted on Zeus Baddies. Here she is with the CEO of Zeus.
I want you guys to welcome okay. I want you guys to welcome
Sigh. Is this how life is supposed to go? Is Nicki Minaj's little sister should be on Baddies? Like, is this real? Like, seriously? Is this real? I found you on this platform. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Is this real? Like, I literally can't. Nicki Minaj's little sister on Baddies, bro. Oh Lord. People are saying I'm not worried about her, but I just know some other cast member is gonna build a storyline off Nicki because they're related. The girl's not living. Yeah, why they acting happy? Like their job is to fight each other. I'm crying. They about to traffic the fuck out of her. The rumors, there do be rumors that they be trafficking. Y'all get ready for Nicki to be insulted and dragged in the show because obviously they're gonna make it about her. Who do I have to pay for her to get dragged? Why would you say that? As a barb, why would you say that? Why would you say who do I have to pay to get Nikki's little sister beat up? Why would you do like why would you that's weird. They about to beat this little hoe like she sold something just because of who her sister is. They want clout OMG. Is she even old enough? I'm crying. Yo, this is so sad. Being after the baddies intro. What the fuck?
This was her first fight. This was her first fight. You good. You good.
That's this has gotta be fake. Big after the baddies intro because you see what whoever if they're holding her up, she's mad thick. Mig is not thick at all. Yeah, this is fake. I hate when people do this. That's what I was saying about Twitter and Elon Musk earlier. Is that like this shit is really just like it really is like a cesspool. Like anybody can be a news for whatever they want to be a news blog for, you know? And you literally push whatever narrative you want to push, regardless of like how great or disgusting it is. And that's why it's like, yo, like that's what I was gonna go on a whole rant that I was just happy. I was happy to hear, hey Capricorn, I was so happy to hear other people's take on Nikki and the Grammys outside of the bars because I was feeling like it was I shouldn't even get into it right now, but like I just be feeling like we don't be having like enough like healthy pushback and we just be taking in like narratives and things that like Nikki be wanting to tell us and or want us to feel like or want us to know, which is fine, but it's like you never hear like the other part of that conversation. Like if like Nikki was in conversation with someone, what would they say? Like, well, you chose to make that decision, X, Y, Z. You got to live with it. Like we never hear that other side of the conversation. We only hear hers. And so I was like, you know what? Like I feel like because I like they be saying like the people like no matter how cupcake or whatever they are, they'd be like, oh, I can think for myself. Oh, I can think for myself. But it's like you look under these tweets day by day and you see them saying the same shit every day, like every day. And it's just like some of y'all responses, it don't fucking work for me no more. Like it don't work for me. Like it wasn't working for me. Because I could go on the whole rant. Like it stopped working for me like when it came to Bigfoot. Like, bitch, I don't want to hear that she's a human being. The nigga is 40 years old. You know, she's complete opposite of Nikki Facts. I don't think they're gonna let him touch her. Okay. So I was like, yeah, like those narratives, it just stopped working for me for real. And so I was like, you know what? It's really important to like uh step out of that because it is an echo chamber. Like they do be saying the same thing over and over and over again. Like seriously. And I'm just like, yo.
So Nicki Minaj's sister Ming Lee, or half little sister, whatever y'all want to call it, half whole, 1/4, 2/5, whatever, has just joined Baddies Going Wild on Zeus Network. And I just don't see this going well because they're about to run this Nicki Minaj storyline into the dirt. They're about to be arguing with her, fighting with her, all of this stuff like that. Ming Ming, I hope you know how to mink mink. And the girls don't seem welcoming at all. Look at this video. And she walking in. They look so mean. What's wrong with y'all? Look at them. Like, ugh. Like, where is the good energy at? Y'all look mean.
Wait, is that Rilla G's? Is Rilla G's on Baddies? She's some rapper from New York that was beefing with Ice Spice. Child. Do y'all think that, like, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Um, and then Chaotic talking about he signed her. Like, come on, like, let's be serious. Let's be serious. She can't. It's like the people who go for like you thought Love and Hip Hop was the bottom of the barrel. What if the people who go for Zeus? Like, why would you ever think that people are seriously going to take you seriously? It seems like Big Imagine's sister will be a part.
Pause for me, baby.
And then you look so raggedy. Number one, you need to fucking get that wig together. Number two, mad tattoos make you look dirty. You too fucking young for to be looking like this shit. And all of them goddamn piercings, like you just look dirty. Go and fucking drink some Listerine. Like, what the fuck?
Pause for me. Ask that slim thing, no time. Pause for me, baby Natalie, none. Baddies. Pause for me.
I can't. I literally cannot. Oh, it's just so sad. Anyway. Oh yeah, what's the difference between baddies and baddies? Um, baddies and baddies. What is it? Baddies Gone Wild. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. You know what? Let me go on Glock Topics and see like if they posted anything. ASAP Rocky and Rihanna still in court. I have not tuned in for none of that. Okay. I think I'm good. Oh yeah, this is Kendrick other interview. Yo, this interview was literally only 3 minutes. Literally, this is the whole interview. It was only 3 minutes, and it's like, if you think he is gonna say anything, no. It's just like, yo, like with Kendrick, it's just like, why is you interviewing with a white dude? Like, we claim to be soul for the culture. We're here again with the Super Bowl when they was boycotting the Super Bowl. Now you interviewing with a white dude. Like what? Like what's really going on here? Like it's just not giving. It's not giving at all. It's not giving. Oh, now I really want to go off because I'm just annoyed at this. This is the state of like what we have to accept when it comes to artist interviews. Them saying a bunch of nothing. Like what is this? Like, I'm just so annoyed. Like, look, literally full interview, 3 minutes. What was the fucking point? Anyway, I appreciate everybody for coming through. We shall talk soon. Probably tomorrow, honestly. Child, I didn't even tell them to like the video. But yeah, y'all.